Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into the fascinating rise of SARVAM AI in India.
Yep, it's a really interesting story unfolding there.
What makes this company tick, and why should you, wherever you are, pay attention? That's our mission.
Exactly. We've sifted through a comprehensive look at SARVAM AI, zeroing in on their core goals, the tech they're building, sort of from the ground up.
And the partnerships too, right? Those seem crucial.
Oh, absolutely. The pivotal alliances they've forged and, the ultimate impact they're striving for.
Our aim isn't to drown you in jargon. Think of this as your express route to understanding a key player reshaping India's AI future.
We're hunting for those light bulb moments, yeah.
Exactly. The insights that give you a clear and concise picture of what's happening and, crucially, why it matters. Okay, so let's get straight to it. What's the core essence, the vision of SARVAM AI?
What's really striking is their fundamental vision, founded just last year, 2023.
So very new.
Very new, yeah. SARVAM AI is on a mission to build what they term full-stack generative AI for 1 billion voices.
1 billion voices. That's ambitious.
It is, and their focus is intensely on India's rich linguistic and cultural diversity. We're not talking about token support here. No, their initial emphasis is on 10 major Indian languages, with the long-term ambition to embrace all 22 officially recognized ones.
Wow. 10 to start, aiming for all 22. That's a massive undertaking.
It really is. And the key insight here isn't just about multilingualism. It's about recognizing that for a vast population, language is the primary interface with technology.
And it sounds like their focus isn't solely on text-based AI.
Precisely. If we connect this to the fundamental need for accessibility in India, there's strong emphasis on voice-first interactions.
Voice first.
Yeah, via platforms as ubiquitous as the telephone and WhatsApp. That's incredibly strategic.
Because that's how many people actually connect.
It acknowledges the reality that for a significant portion of the population, voice is the most natural and accessible way to engage with technology.
That makes absolute sense in a market where screen literacy and digital fluency aren't universal. So beyond this deep linguistic focus, what else defines their central vision?
Well, this raises a really important point about their commitment to the open source community.
Right. They're sharing some things.
They are. They're not operating in isolation. They actively contribute to the broader AI ecosystem by making some of their foundational models openly available.
And the name, SARVAM.
Yeah, SARVAM, meaning everything in Sanskrit. It really encapsulates their inclusive and far-reaching aspirations. It's a statement about their ambition to build AI that truly serves everyone.
Everything for everyone. Linguistically, that's a powerful idea. Now, one of the biggest stories surrounding SARVAM AI is their significant involvement with the Indian government. What's the crux of that relationship?
Okay, here's where it gets genuinely compelling. SARVAM AI has been selected by the government of India.
Under the India AI mission, right?
Exactly, under the umbrella of the India AI mission to spearhead the development of the nation's very first sovereign large language model, or LLM.
Sovereign LLM. That sounds important.
It is. This isn't just another government contract. It represents a pivotal stride for India towards achieving genuine strategic independence and establishing technological leadership in the critical field of AI.
A sovereign LLM. What does that mean in practical terms? Why is that so significant for India's future?
Think of it as building a foundational piece of national digital infrastructure, like roads or power grids, but for AI.
Okay, got it.
This sovereign LLM is envisioned as a substantial 70 billion parameter system. Now, parameters in simple terms are like the dials and knobs an AI model uses to learn.
The scale of its brain, sort of.
Sort of, yeah. Generally, more parameters allow for greater complexity and capability, and this LLM is being designed from the ground up to be multilingual, multimodal.
Multimodal meaning text, voice, images.
Potentially, yeah, text, audio, images, and crucially, globally competitive. The aim is for it to be a trusted resource for the public sector, ensuring data security and national control.
While still being useful commercially.
Exactly, while also being commercially viable for broader applications. The geopolitical implication here is clear. A nation controlling its foundational AI capabilities reduces reliance on foreign technology and strengthens its strategic position.
So it's about India having its own independent control over a core AI technology, keeping sensitive data within its borders,
right,
and really fostering its own unique AI innovation tailored to its specific needs.
Precisely. The government's commitment here underscores a clear desire for national control over this vital technology, guaranteeing data security and fostering that strategic independence we discussed.
avoiding reliance on outside models.
Yeah, they aim to avoid over-reliance on AI models developed elsewhere, which might not fully grasp or cater to India's distinct requirements and cultural context.
This recurring theme of building AI specifically for India's unique context seems central to SARVAM AI's mission. How does this connect with the broader goals of digital inclusion and achieving AI for all?
This is absolutely fundamental to SARVAM AI's very reason for being. Their deep focus on Indian languages and those voice-first interactions we talked about earlier.
Yeah, the WhatsApp and phone focus.
Are essential for dismantling the language barriers that currently restrict AI access for a vast number of people in India.
Because most global models are English first.
Exactly. When the majority of global AI models are primarily trained on and optimized for English, a significant portion of the Indian population, especially those in rural areas or who aren't English speakers, are effectively excluded.
So by prioritizing native languages and voice interfaces, they're aiming to transform AI into a truly accessible and beneficial tool for a much wider spectrum of people in their everyday lives.
Precisely. If we zoom out to consider the bigger picture, it's about transitioning AI from something perceived as complex or exclusive into a practical utility.
Like electricity or water.
Maybe not quite yet, but a utility, yeah, that can drive broader societal and economic benefits across the entire nation, reaching those who are currently digitally underserved. Think of the potential for farmers accessing vital information via voice in their local dialect.
Or government services through a simple phone call.
Exactly that kind of thing.
It sounds like a profoundly ambitious vision. What are the key pillars that underpin SARVAM AI's ability to pursue this? What makes them capable?
Okay, there are several critical foundational pillars. First and foremost is the leadership team.
Right, the founders.
Dr. Vivek Raghavan and Dr. Pratish Kumar. Both are distinguished veterans of AI for Bharat at IIT Madras.
AI for Bharat, they've done a lot of work on Indian languages, haven't they?
They have. This background is incredibly significant. It brings a deep foundation of academic rigor coupled with extensive practical experience, specifically in building AI solutions for Indian languages.
So not just tech entrepreneurs jumping in, they have domain expertise.
Deep domain expertise. This isn't just about business acumen. It's about deep technical understanding of the challenges and opportunities.
Okay, strong leadership. What about the financial backing? Developing these kinds of advanced models must require significant investment.
You're absolutely right. It's very capital intensive. They secured a substantial $41 million in Series A funding back in December 2023.
$41 million Series A. That's impressive.
It is. And this came from some really prominent investors like Lightspeed Venture Partners, Peak XV Partners, and Khosla Ventures.
Big names.
Definitely. This level of investment provides a strong validation of SARVAM AI's vision and their perceived potential in this rapidly evolving field.
That's a significant vote of confidence from the investment world. And beyond just financial resources, it appears they've also been very strategic in forming key alliances.
Absolutely. Their network of strategic alliances is remarkably impressive and multifaceted. We've already touched on the crucial partnership with the Government of India and the India AI mission.
Which gets them access to compute, right?
Crucially, yes. Access to over 4,000 high-performance NVIDIA H100 GPUs.
Wow. H100s are like gold dust right now.
Exactly. It's a computing resource that is both incredibly expensive and currently in high demand globally. This access provides a substantial competitive edge.
A massive advantage in the AI race, definitely.
Sure.
What other significant alliances have they established?
Another particularly significant one is with UIDI, the Unique Identification Authority of India.
For Aadhaar, the national ID system.
Correct. They are collaborating to integrate AI-powered voice interactions and fraud detection into Aadhaar services. And crucially, this will be available in 10 Indian languages.
Our languages for government ID services, that's impactful.
It is. And what's especially noteworthy here is that SARVAM AI's generative AI technology will be hosted on-premise within UIDIA's infrastructure.
On-premise, meaning not in the cloud.
Right. Within UIDIA's own controlled environment. This ensures stringent data sovereignty and security. No sensitive user data leaves their protected environment.
That emphasis on on-premise hosting for such sensitive national data must be a major factor in building trust.
It absolutely is. Essential for government entities and likely very appealing to enterprise clients concerned about data privacy too.
Makes sense. Any other major partners?
Yeah, beyond these key ones, they also have alliances with NVIDIA and Yada for further access to those vital GPUs. They've collaborated with Meta and the
NSDC.
National Skill Development Corporation. They developed the SIA chatbot on WhatsApp together.
The career guidance bot.
That's the one. Offering career guidance in multiple languages using open-source Llama technology. Microsoft is also listed as a partner, aiming to expand AI accessibility.
And they're still working with AI4R.
Yes, directly collaborating with AI4R at IIT Madras to build these sovereign models, leveraging that deep reservoir of research expertise.
So a mix of government, tech giants, research.
And the list continues: partnerships with major players like Google and Amazon for computational resources, academic collaborations with leading universities such as MIT and Stanford, and access to diverse data sets through platforms like Kaggle.
It truly sounds like they've cultivated a powerful and supportive ecosystem around their core mission.
They really have.
And that government backing, especially with the crucial access to those advanced GPUs, really does appear to be a unique competitive advantage that would be challenging for others to replicate quickly.
Precisely. Access to that scale of compute power presents a significant barrier to entry for many players in this field.
And the on-premise thing for UIDAI.
That commitment to on-premise hosting within UIDAI for maintaining data sovereignty is a key differentiator, fostering a level of trust that global players might find more difficult to establish in the Indian market.
Let's pivot now and discuss the actual technology that SARVAM AI is developing. What kind of key innovations are we seeing emerge from their work?
Okay, tech. At the heart of their technological innovation is a strong focus on developing large language models that are specifically designed and meticulously tailored for the unique Indian context.
Which the Sovereign LLM project clearly shows.
Exactly. That's a clear validation of this expertise. But importantly, they have also been actively releasing open source models.
Right, you mentioned that commitment.
Which is a critical element of their broader strategy to foster innovation and build a community. We've seen the release of SARVAM 1 and then notably SARVAM 2B.
SARVAM 2B, what's special about that one?
It holds the distinction of being the first 2 billion parameter multilingual LLM trained from scratch.
Trained from scratch, okay.
And impressively, it has demonstrated superior performance compared to even Meta's Llama model when it comes to understanding and processing various Indian languages.
Outperforming a model like Llama in Indian languages is a really significant achievement. That must have turned some heads.
It certainly did. It highlights the effectiveness of their localized training approach.
And their efforts aren't confined to just text-based models, are they? I think I read something about audio.
No, you're right. They are also actively venturing into the audio domain. They recently released Shuka V1, which is India's first open source audio LLM specifically for Hindi. This model can understand and continue audio inputs.
So it can listen and then respond or continue in audio.
Exactly. Opening up exciting possibilities for voice-based AI applications in the Indian context. Their overarching commitment to eventually supporting all 22 scheduled Indian languages across their various models represents a truly ambitious technological undertaking.
It really underscores their core AI for billion voices mission in a very tangible way. What about their flagship models? What capabilities are they showcasing there?
Their current flagship model is SARVAM-M.
SARVAM-M, bigger model.
Yeah, this is a more substantial 24 billion parameter hybrid language model. It builds upon the architecture of Mistral Small.
Okay, based on Mistral Tech.
Right. What's particularly noteworthy is that SARVAM-M is setting new performance benchmarks for models of its size, especially in challenging areas like mathematics, programming, and the nuanced understanding of Indian languages.
Better at maths and code in Indian languages.
Significantly better in some cases. For instance, it has shown an impressive 86% improvement on a key benchmark for solving math problems presented in Romanized Indian languages.
86% improvement. That's huge.
It is. It even rivals the performance of significantly larger models in many of these specific domains.
But how does it do on, say, just plain English tasks?
That's an interesting point. It actually does show a slight dip in performance on purely English knowledge benchmarks compared to its base model, Mistral Small.
Ah, so there's a trade-off.
Exactly, which really underscores their strategic prioritization of excelling in the Indian linguistic context. It's a deliberate trade-off of global generality for deep local expertise.
So a calculated trade-off, prioritizing excellence within the Indian context. even if it means a minor reduction in pure English language capabilities. That seems like a very intentional strategic decision.
Precisely. And they aren't just providing these underlying models, they also offer a comprehensive suite of APIs and platform offerings.
The tools for developers.
Exactly. This includes essential tools for automatic speech recognition, ASR, text-to-speech, TTS, accurate translation between languages, robust text processing capabilities, sophisticated parsing tools, and even the ability to build advanced conversational agents.
So like building blocks.
It's a full toolkit designed to empower developers, a complete infrastructure for developers looking to create AI-powered applications specifically for the diverse Indian market.
Got it. And they have specific product lines, too. I saw names like Mayura, Sagaras.
Yes. And under their SARVAM Agents initiative, they're focusing on creating truly user-friendly, voice-centric AI experiences.
VoiceGAD.
Always comes back to voice. This includes seamless integration of AI into traditional voice calls, the development of sophisticated multilingual and voice-enabled agents for popular platforms like WhatsApp.
For like that SIA bot.
Similar capabilities, yeah. And even the creation of generative user interfaces that leverage AI directly within applications. This voice-first approach is deeply ingrained in their product philosophy.
The emphasis on voice-first interaction seems to be a consistent and absolutely crucial element of their overall strategy for the Indian market.
It is indeed. Their suite of SARVAM platforms further illustrates this commitment. You mentioned the names.
Yeah, Mayura, Saraz, Bulbul.
Right. So Mayura focuses on providing highly accurate translations specifically tailored for the nuances of Indian languages. Saraz handles the complex task of converting speech to text and then translating it, particularly for Indian voices.
Okay, speech to text plus translation.
Then Bulbul offers natural-sounding text-to-speech voices across 11 Indian languages with regional-specific accents.
Regional accents, too. That's detailed.
Very. And Sarika delivers accurate speech-to-text transcription in 10 Indian languages. These are not just generic tools. They are fine-tuned for the specific challenges and characteristics of Indian languages.
That's a remarkably comprehensive set of tools, specifically addressing the intricate needs of India's diverse linguistic landscape.
And looking towards the future, as a key component of their sovereign LLM initiative, they are actively developing different variants of their core models.
Different sizes.
Exactly. SARVAM Large for handling complex reasoning tasks, SARVAM Small for applications requiring real-time interactions like chatbots, and SARVAM Edge for deployment directly on devices with limited computing power.
Edge computing for AI, okay.
This multi-pronged approach, offering a full-stack solution with multimodal capabilities, is strategically designed to cater to the diverse range of needs within the Indian market.
And the open sourcing helps build the ecosystem around all this.
Absolutely. As we discussed earlier, their commitment to open sourcing foundational models is a calculated strategic move to cultivate a thriving and innovative developer ecosystem around their core technology.
Open sourcing those foundational models really does have the potential to be a significant catalyst for innovation within the Indian AI community. Now, let's consider who exactly SARVAM AI is trying to reach with all this cutting-edge technology. What is their primary market focus?
Their market focus is quite extensive, covering several key and high-growth sectors within India. They are specifically targeting financial services companies.
Banks, insurance.
Right, looking to enhance customer interactions, legal firms seeking AI for document processing, consumer goods companies aiming for personalized customer engagement, the technology sector itself for integration into new products.
Media and telecom, too.
Media and telecom industries for content creation and delivery, and crucially, the government sector, given their pivotal role in developing the sovereign LLM.
So a real mix.
A very broad applicability for their core AI technologies. This multi-sector approach reflects that.
So a strategic blend of both enterprise and public sector clients forms their core target market. What about the more specific customer segments they are actively aiming to serve?
They are primarily targeting large enterprises that require highly customized AI solutions. Also, tech companies looking to integrate advanced generative AI capabilities into their products and services.
And researchers.
Yes, research institutions that require access to state-of-the-art AI models for their work, and ultimately individual citizens through various government initiatives and those user-friendly voice-first applications we've highlighted.
So, aiming to be a foundational layer.
Exactly, a foundational AI provider across various layers of the Indian economy and society.
And what specific real-world problems are they actively trying to solve with their advanced AI capabilities? Can you give some examples?
Sure. The range of potential applications is truly diverse and impactful. We're talking about developing sophisticated conversational AI agents.
Like for customer service?
Yeah, to handle customer service inquiries, such as answering questions about bank loan applications, providing highly accurate machine translation specifically for the complexities of Indian languages.
Better than generic translation tools.
That's the goal, tailored for the context. Creating innovative educational tools like the SIA career guidance chatbot we mentioned.
The Aadhaar integration seems huge, too.
Definitely, significantly enhancing the accessibility and security of Aadhaar services through voice interaction and advanced fraud detection, improving enterprise-level search and information retrieval.
What about specific industries, like legal?
Developing specialized AI tools for the legal sector to assist with tasks like document drafting and data extraction, and even creating advanced text-to-speech applications for areas like e-commerce order details.
Like reading out order updates.
Right, or healthcare communication, adeptly handling the common phenomenon of code mixing.
Code mixing, you mean switching between English and Hindi, for example?
Exactly, handling that naturally. They are even exploring the creation of high-quality multilingual audiobooks with consistent voice and natural code mixing.
That strong emphasis on voice-first interaction and comprehensive multilingual support really does appear to be the key to unlocking the vast potential of the Indian market.
It really does.
Particularly given the varying levels of English language proficiency across the population.
Absolutely. It's fundamentally about driving true digital inclusion and enabling a much wider segment of the population to actively participate in the rapidly growing digital economy.
And the government work helps build trust for businesses.
Right. That deep and strategic engagement with the government sector isn't just about prestige or securing high-profile projects. It provides them with invaluable access to significant computational resources.
The GPU?
The GPUs, crucial credibility within the market, and a large-scale real-world testing ground for their technologies, which in turn significantly de-risks their adoption by broader commercial enterprises.
It all consistently points back to that central mission of developing AI solutions that are specifically designed for the unique demands and opportunities of the Indian context.
Yeah.
So what exactly is SARVAM AI's unique value proposition? What sets them apart?
Their core value proposition can be distilled down to their commitment to unleashing communication without limits within India's incredibly rich and diverse linguistic landscape.
Communication without limits.
And that unique and ambitious focus on eventually supporting all 22 officially scheduled Indian languages is a major and compelling differentiator.
Plus affordability.
Yes, they are also strongly committed to ensuring affordability and accessibility, aiming to provide world-class AI at Indian costs. This price sensitivity is crucial for widespread adoption in the Indian market.
That focus on a competitive price point could indeed be a very significant factor in a cost-conscious market like India.
Absolutely. And their unwavering stance on data sovereignty and user privacy.
The on-premise hosting, the sovereign AI goals.
Exactly. Particularly evident in the Sovereign AI initiative and their partnership with UIDAI involving on-premise data hosting, builds a critical layer of trust, especially for sensitive government and enterprise applications.
And the open source aspect helps too.
Yes, their strong commitment to contributing to the open source community helps to foster a broader ecosystem of innovation around their foundational technologies.
But what's the main differentiator against, say, a global giant?
Perhaps their most significant differentiator is their deep and specialized expertise in navigating the nuances of the Indian context.
The languages, the culture.
The intricate linguistic landscape, the subtle cultural nuances, and the critical need for cost-effective deployment solutions. This level of deep, localized understanding is something that global AI players will find very challenging to replicate effectively.
And the performance proves it.
Well, the superior performance of Srvam in Indian language tasks compared to more general models clearly highlights this key advantage.
So while global AI giants might possess significant scale and vast resources, SARVAM AI brings a deep and highly specialized localized expertise that gives them a unique edge in the Indian market.
That's a good way to put it.
And it sounds like they're strategically balancing their contributions to the open source community with maintaining proprietary control over their sovereign LLM for vital national security and strategic autonomy considerations.
That's a very astute observation and accurately captures their pragmatic and balanced approach. It's a strategy that allows them to both foster external innovation through collaboration and protect strategically critical national assets.
Looking towards the horizon, what is the long-term strategic outlook for SARVAM AI? Where do they envision themselves heading in the coming years?
Their long-term strategy is clearly centered on the continuous development of advanced multimodal, multi-scale foundation models entirely from scratch.
Building their own base models, not just adapting others?
That seems to be the ultimate goal. Achieving both strategic technological independence for India in this crucial sector and establishing themselves as a global leader in the specialized domain of AI tailored for diverse linguistic and cultural contexts.
And the sovereign LLM is key to that.
Absolutely. The ambitious sovereign LLM proposal, with its envisioned large, small, and edge variants, and the ultimate goal of developing a powerful 70 billion parameter system, truly underscores this significant ambition.
So they're not just focused on addressing immediate needs. They have a clearly defined and ambitious roadmap for future innovation and growth.
Precisely. Their future plans include regular releases of increasingly capable models, and they have even established SARVAM labs in the Bay Area.
In the U.S., why there?
To specifically focus on foundational research related to Indic languages, tapping into the talent pool there perhaps, that proposed 70 billion parameter multimodal model, capable of understanding and generating both Indian languages and English, demonstrates their ongoing drive towards achieving cutting-edge AI capabilities.
So competing with the big players.
They are positioning themselves to be competitive with global leaders in the AI space, such as OpenAI and Google DeepMind, but with that crucial and distinctive differentiation.
The voice first, the deep Indian language integration.
Exactly. Even claiming faster inference speeds for certain tasks relevant to their target market.
And potentially exporting this model.
They even harbor a long-term vision of potentially exporting their unique AI expertise and technology to other countries around the world that are seeking to develop their own native large language models.
That vision of potentially exporting their localized AI expertise to other linguistically diverse regions is particularly interesting.
It is. It suggests a broader applicability of their approach.
And the development of those large, small, and edge models makes perfect strategic sense for effectively catering to the diverse range of application needs and computational constraints that exist within the vast Indian market.
It's a very adaptable and strategically sound product development approach, and their potential for success could indeed serve as a replicable blueprint for how localized AI development can be effectively pursued in other linguistically diverse regions across the globe.
Finally, let's step back and consider the broader implications. What kind of impact could SARVAM AI realistically have on India's burgeoning AI ecosystem and on the global AI landscape as a whole?
Well, their selection as the lead developer for India's sovereign LLM under the India AI mission is a truly pivotal moment.
For India's own AI ambitions.
Absolutely. For fostering the development of India's own foundational AI models, this will undoubtedly promote local innovation and that crucial element of strategic autonomy in a critical technological domain.
And projects like the SIA help with inclusion.
Right. Their collaborative work on the SIA Career Guidance Chatbot directly supports the overarching AI for All vision, making valuable resources more accessible. And their deep and unwavering focus on India's linguistic and cultural diversity is already playing a significant role in driving digital inclusion.
Bridging language gaps.
Effectively bridging the persistent language divides that exist within the country.
It truly sounds like they are not just building a successful company. They are actively contributing to broader national development goals.
Absolutely. And they are already establishing significant performance benchmarks and elevating India's overall AI capabilities on the global stage.
The SARVAM 2B and SARVAM M results you mentioned.
Exactly. The fact that SARVAM 2B has outperformed Llama in Indian language understanding and SARVAM M is demonstrating strong performance in key areas are clear indicators of this progress.
Could their methods be used elsewhere?
Potentially. Their innovative methodology for efficient model training, possibly leveraging synthetic local data, also holds potential global relevance and could even lead to the export of their training techniques to countries facing similar challenges.
Is there precedent for this kind of national AI effort?
Well, the success of companies like China's DeepSeek has clearly reinforced the viability of cost-effective indigenous AI development, and SARVAM AI is positioned at the forefront of this movement within India.
And the real-world impact is visible.
Initiatives like the SIA chatbot and the enhancements to Aadhaar services through AI clearly demonstrate a concrete pathway for AI to contribute meaningfully to national development objectives and act as a genuine socioeconomic catalyst.
So to summarize our deep dive into SARVAM AI, it appears to be a truly significant and dynamic player in India's rapidly evolving AI journey.
Definitely a key one to watch.
They are driven by a very clear and compelling vision, underpinned by strong and strategic partnerships, fueled by impressive technological innovation.
And that deep understanding of the local context.
Right, guided by a deep and nuanced understanding of the unique Indian context. Their unwavering focus on multilingualism, the strategic emphasis on voice-first interactions, and a strong commitment to data sovereignty firmly position them as a key enabler of digital inclusion within India.
And potentially beyond.
And a potentially influential leader in the realm of localized AI development on a global scale.
Precisely. And hopefully this deep dive has provided you, our listener, with a clear and insightful understanding of SARVAM AI's ambitious mission and the exciting developments that are currently unfolding within India's dynamic AI ecosystem.
Yeah, the focus on local needs is really key.
Their strong emphasis on addressing local needs and their strategic approach to thoughtfully balancing open-source contributions with the development of proprietary technologies offer valuable lessons in how AI can be effectively shaped to serve diverse populations and achieve crucial technological sovereignty.
And on that thought-provoking note, here's a final question for you to consider. As the field of artificial intelligence development continues to become increasingly democratized and more finely tailored to specific cultural and linguistic contexts around the world.
Which seems to be the trend.
Right. What other unique regional AI powerhouses might we see emerge in the coming years, and what truly innovative and culturally relevant solutions might they bring to the global stage?
It's certainly a fascinating prospect to contemplate.
Indeed. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.